There we go.
Are they not in
there
bed,
we go.
Brennan?
Nah, they in bed.
Oh, that's
All right.
There we go. Now you can cut me down a little bit, please.
Where
Woo, yeah, brother. You yawned all up in my ear. Get some of that.
So what we got on the agenda tonight?
I don't know, man. Hey, but I do know that you give me whack beats every week. You don't want a nigga to rise with his feet to the sky, nigga. That's why I
I'll
fly,
tell you what,
nigga.
man. How about you pick your beat?
Nah, you the producer. You can't do. I'm echoing. Okay. I like that. Okay. I woke up this morning, man, feeling hella good.
Here comes a
Nigga had a big old wood, so you know I had a good dream when I woke up. I seen Tiff rubbed on a big butt. She like, ooh, baby, you better stop. I said, I got 5 more minutes on the clock. She said, sure, that's all you need. I said, nah, I need 40, but I'll take the 5B. She said, all right, let's get it in. You are my closest friend. I said, I know that. I'm Priest D, baby. I'm in the caddy and you got the #1 dude on the block. That's what I said. She gave a smile. And then some... Alright.
I was wondering if he was going to take it there because it was rhyming. I was like, how far is he about to go?
Hold on. Hey, was I smooth?
I knew he was going to go. I was like,
right.
how far are you about to go?
No.
He was all right.
Hey, you don't want to give my proper dues. That's
is
all right.
That is funny.
Hey, but why y'all don't want to give it up to me? And that, I feel like I was smooth as hell on that.
I've learned from the last few times I've gave you props on air to not.
Too much.
Because then I go back and listen to it and I'd be like, man,
Actually,
I
that
was
was not
tripping.
good.
You know what, dog? Hey, I meant to tell you. I be listening to it, and when you be putting the beat on before we talk, and before the beat actually drop, I be off.
That's what you think it is?
Hell yeah, that's what it is, dog. Like, cause you try to get it from the talking to the when the beat actually kick in and it don't be lined up. I be off a beat.
So your argument here.
No, I'm talking about. I'm saying no. You 9 times out of 10 you give a whack beat. Tonight was cool, but when I'm just saying like if you make me even whacker.
But listen though,
you make me even whacker when you got me off beat. About.
So at the Christmas party,
I killed it.
I thought he killed it, but I was inebriated at the time. But it was to a Mac Dre beat, and he was like, "Yeah, this is what I needed. I needed a beat like this. You give me the whack."
But
yes.
I was the same as you though.
But when we heard it the next day, it was like
hey,
it's like
trash.
Sometimes it's not about what you say; it's how I make you feel, and how did I make you feel in that moment.
In that moment,
that's all that matters to me. That's all that matters. I gave you what you want.
Regardless.
I gave you what you
You
want.
had the whole bottle of the Tamagotchi by itself.
Yes.
Oh my god!
Remember?
And you had the best hype man in the world that night.
Hey, my nephew was
hyping you up like, yeah.
Hey, it ain't about what I'm saying. Sometimes I ain't gotta be lyrical. Sometimes I tone it down. I'm at a party. I'm in a social event. There's a lot of things going on. You're not gonna listen to my lyrics, but I'm gonna give you something toned down to where you're gonna feel it. That's what I'm about. Movement, body, language, the flow. And if you getting it and I'm giving it to you, then we good.
Okay.
You said a whole lot of nothing.
A whole lot of nothing. A whole lot of nothing.
A whole lot of nothing. I was just wondering when you was gonna stop.
You're just over here talking.
Hey man, I'm happy, man. You know, it's my happy Wednesday when I'm just chilling with y'all. And I just want to say thank y'all for tuning in for Two Dudes and a Chick. It's your boy Priest D.
Dr.
Riding in
IJ.
the caddy. He gonna cut me off, but that's all right, pimping. I didn't rhyme, but go ahead, Tim. I was trying to be smooth. I messed up my smooth. I ain't gonna even try no more for the rest of the night.
I honestly be forgetting that you give 6,000 names when you introduce yourself.
I know. Well, he's not consistent. Sometimes he does it, and sometimes he just stops.
You're right. Sometimes he just look at us and just be like, "That's all I got today."
And we're like, "Oh, okay." So.
Well, hey, what was that conversation that you was talking about when you walked in the house? You came in on some deep social society. Don't limit it to black men and this and that. Like, what was that about?
Man, so a student I had at UC Davis 3 years ago hit me up on LinkedIn. I don't even use my LinkedIn. Like, I didn't even know my password. I had to reset my password to get this man's message. But he wanted to talk to me. He's teaching down in Compton. So he was like, I need to talk to you about, like, some strategies so I can do better. So I was like, all right, hit me up. And I just shot him my number. This was literally like 30 minutes ago. I shot him my number.
Yeah, he playing.
Bruh, I'm not thinking he gonna call me.
That's how you know when somebody for real. Like if somebody says, "Yeah, I want you to do something for my," okay, here goes my number.
Right.
I don't never be like, "Give me your number." It's like, here goes my number. So when you're ready,
Right. And he like as soon as I press send on the computer, I was getting a call like 3 minutes later. I'm like, who is this? He's like, this is
What do you want?
yeah, you want to let me? So I was just trying to teach him. He asked me 3 questions. He asked me, how do you teach with love, or how do you love your students? He asked me what I thought about the Common Core standards, and
we was just talking about that today.
do I think it gets in the way of learning? And then his last question was like, I have a good understanding, I think, of popular culture for youth. How do I connect that with, what they learn in the classroom? So that's what we was talking about when I came in.
What you tell him? Don't wheel me in and then just leave me out to dry. I'm curious.
So, bruh, it's interesting, man. It's like I got these foundational principles that I follow when it comes to my philosophies around teaching. That is just part of the lineage that I grew up in terms of my academic career, but also like deeply rooted in what I learned as a kid. And so what I realized is a lot of these principles come from the word. So like ideas like service, you know what I mean? Love, things like that. So basically I've been working on this. When people say like, how do you love your students? I always tell them like, love is not a feeling. You know what I mean? Like if you're speaking and thinking about love as a feeling, then you're in the wrong place. Love is action. So love is not telling somebody I love you. Love is fixing them a sandwich. You know what I mean?
That's why there's different love languages.
Exactly. And for us as educators, love is the process of enacting justice in a sense that you remove all barriers for your students to be successful. So I was telling him, number 1 is relationship. If you don't have no relationship with your students, then you not loving them.
How do you get a relationship with students?
You just got to get to know them.
So you personally got to get everybody on a personal level.
You got to personally, like if you
know they name me talking to them.
Yeah, if you want to be a teacher, you know what I'm saying? Like it varies kid to kid, but some kids you'll need to know really, really well. And some kids you won't need to know all that well. You know what I mean? Because they don't require that much of you. But teachers expect to teach without building relationships. You can't do that. You got to know who your students are. You got to know what your students is going through.
Know your audience.
You got to be able to decipher that, you know what I'm saying?
So
my kid is having a bad day today,
this is just them every day.
Right.
So do y'all feel like that's what separate a good teacher from a bad teacher is personal relationship?
Oh yeah.
I think so.
If you think about every teacher that all of your kids have had in their brief life, I would guarantee the better teachers are the ones that actually knew your sons beyond just
who cared
them as a student.
I agree.
You know what I mean? So
teachers are important. They can make or break.
Exactly.
Make or break your schooling.
Nah, I agree.
So that's the first step is relationship, and then the second step is action as it relates to like how many barriers have you removed so that it's impossible to fail. And we think about failure in terms of academic failure, but failure also in terms of like behavior. Like, have you made it impossible for a student to get kicked out of your class? Because if you build relationships with your students, they should never get kicked out of the class. Like never.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, even if they did something that's just egregious, if you really got a relationship with a student, like, why are you sending them to the principal's office?
You should be able to handle it yourself.
They should have some type of respect for you.
Well, you should be able to handle it. Your relationship.
You should be able to
be able to handle it yourself, or you don't need the third person.
It's all about abandonment and exile, right? So when you kick them out of class, you have exiled them from a social space, and now they're in a place of abandonment. So many of our kids experience that in everyday life.
And they lose advantage.
Exactly. So you would never, if you and Tiff got into an argument, you would never send her to the principal's office. You can't. So you will work it out. You'd be like, all right, well, we just got to figure it out. But I can't send you to a metaphorical principal's office where you sit there all day and then you come back tomorrow with an attitude adjustment. Like, that would never work. You can't
send me to my mom.
Without talking about it, without having
a discussion, that would never
without
work.
Saying reasons why we had to go there.
That would never. If you did that in your personal relationships, it would only make things worse.
Mine is blown right now.
I don't even want to say nothing. Keep on going. Like,
you know what I mean?
I'm thinking about the teachers that I had problems with that probably kicked me out of class.
They didn't
like
you. And you didn't like
but
them.
I'm just saying, and it wasn't nothing talked about. Like, come on, like, why we gotta go there? It was just like, I come to class, ain't no welcome back. It's just like, I'm looking at them.
Do this guy again.
I'm looking at them. They looking at me. I'm like, nigga, what? Having to stare off. Like, all right, you got a problem, man.
And you know, like, when you a kid, you don't want to be in class anyway. It ain't, and that ain't a good kid, bad kid
just
thing.
In general.
It's just
when
a
you
kid
at work as a grown person, you don't want to be
at
there.
work. Yeah.
So an
immature kid gonna act out.
So what? I get the day off.
Right, you gonna take it.
Peace. I see you. Like,
so if I do this, I get to do that.
Right.
Okay.
I wanted to go by my nigga's classroom anyway and just cook cute chicken there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to be here anyway. So what are you doing? And that's the other thing, you know what I'm saying? I was just telling them was like, if you were a chef and one of your customers said, my meal doesn't taste good, like, what would you do? You would either remake it. You would probably remake it according to how they want it, and then give it to them for free on top of that. Because you want that customer to come back again. You want them to be satisfied. Well, if you're a teacher, your only job is to ensure that your students learn. That's your only job. So if a student walks out of your classroom and they not satisfied, like, teachers be gangbanging on students. Like, I'm a teacher. You supposed to be, like, you the cook. Recook it again until I'm satisfied. and give it to me for free. Like, stop making me like your nasty food. You know what I mean? But that goes to relationship.
Damn.
You know what I mean? So we was just getting into all of that. You know what I'm saying? I was telling him that the Common Core standards, like, they not going nowhere.
Speak on that. How you feel about that? Because I'm glad you brought that up.
Just
today. I can't teach my kids nothing when it comes to math. Like,
Chum was doing double-digit addition, but how they do it,
it was weird.
It's just not like, okay, so 5 plus 5 is 10. Put the 0 down. Let me carry the 1, and then just add the. No, it's not like it's another step in there.
I'm looking at that paper like it's written in German, dog. Like, how did he? What?
So,
but it makes sense though after somebody explained it to me.
As it relates to math, the Common Core. Not just the standards, but the techniques that they're using to teach math is supposed to make math more accessible. So for us, math was based on memorization of these certain principles.
But now they're making you actually.
So it ain't about form, like they showing you different.
It's not
formulas?
about. It's about actually breaking down the problem and actually knowing why you're doing it and how you're doing it, opposed to just taking shortcuts. Like we all, how we did it, we took shortcuts.
They're making it to where you don't have to have those things memorized. Like, you had your times table memorized, and those type of things. They're doing math now where if you don't have those things memorized, but
you'll still
understand,
be able to do it.
Exactly.
They're making you use your brain.
So I'm finna say they're making you use your brain, expand your mind.
Yeah.
So you for it?
I'm not necessarily for Common Core standards because I think Common Core, like, is standardized for kids that are not our kids. right? Mm-hmm. So the one thing that I said to him was, one of the things we got to stop doing is we got to stop kicking against the prick so much. So Common Core is not going nowhere.
So let's learn how to live with it.
It's teachers up and down the state of California and all across the United States that say I hate this. This stuff is whack, right? Yeah. But they ain't going nowhere. The politicians ain't listening to us. So instead
what ideal is this?
Anyway? I have no idea. That's
Thomas Core.
It's one of them Obamas.
Why you laugh at me? Yes. That was funny. I didn't think y'all was gonna laugh. I thought it was hella funny.
One of them delayed.
I thought it was hella funny.
Hey,
I held back on my
like that was so dumb, but let me just laugh at the fact that was so dumb.
I held back my laugh because y'all didn't laugh.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Yeah. So it's just a matter of teaching. But what I was telling them was, don't get caught up on all them different Common Core strategies. Like, if that shit ain't working for your kids, like, find another strategy. Your job is to make sure that they meet the standards, that whatever it is, you know what I mean, whether it's multiplication, division, or, you know what I'm saying, he's an English like, your job is to make sure that they know how to do it.
Yeah.
We get so caught up in
cutter.
Right. We get caught up in and it's like,
oh, you just made it so simple.
This is like, figure it out. Again,
I could be a teacher.
You're a teacher. You know what I mean? So if you're a teacher, your job, again, at the end of the day, is to teach. Now, if I'm a principal, I walk into your classroom, your students is not doing it the way that they're supposed to be doing it, I'm going to have a conversation with you. But one of the main reasons why I'm having a conversation with you is because I'm concerned that they're not going to do well on the standardized testing.
Mm-hmm. And also when they leave your class.
Right.
Because it's not going anywhere, so it's still going to be there.
Exactly.
So you still got to teach them.
Exactly.
And then,
until they change it again.
Right. Yeah. But if your kids do well on the standardized test, ain't no principal going to walk into no teacher's class and be like, you're teaching them the wrong way.
Right.
It's like, nah, bro, look at my test scores. My kids is doing amazing. You know what I mean?
Unless you Joe Clark. Go against Joe Clark word. See what happens.
Oh my gosh.
And then what was that last question he asked me? Oh, he was asking me about how to make things culturally relevant. I told him it's all about.
Yeah, that's when you came in.
Yeah, I was telling him it's about collaboration. So collaboration and co-creation. So I was saying he needs to start co-creating curriculum with his students, right? Mm-hmm. Like, when you are the teacher, you are the steward of learning in your classroom, meaning that your job is to facilitate learning. But the best teachers know how to engage their students in such a way that the students begin to teach themselves. So if you're trying to figure out, he's an English teacher, so he's trying to figure out, how do I bring in pop culture into the classroom to help teach these English standards? And I'm like, ask your students. You know what I'm saying? Pick a couple of your star students out, ask them how the curriculum can be more relevant to them, and then start engaging them in the process of co-creating the curriculum for you, where you know the standards, you know where the destination got to be, and you start asking them, like, how do we get there? And you guide them in terms of helping you figure out, how do we bring in a Tupac song, or how do we bring in, what anything that's relevant to them, right?
To the standard.
Exactly.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you got to get out of, but he a new teacher, right? So anytime, think about it, when you new on the job, you follow the rules. Until you get the experience to be like,
and you can remix it a little bit.
You know what I mean?
I can relax a little bit.
And so even on your job, right, you always got that one person to do everything by the book. They've been there for hella long, and they still doing everything by the book. And then you got that other person that's like, I figured this out 6 months in, and I know how to get everything done without necessarily going by the book, because going by the book is stupid.
Stretch it out.
It take too much time. Like, let me show you how to get from point A to point Z without going through B, C, and D. You know what I mean?
Man.
So That's what it is. That's what I'm trying to tell him is like, bro, like there's different ways of you getting there. But again, I told him it all goes back to relationships. If you don't build relationships with your students, none of it's going to work.
None of it matters.
That's dope. That was some really good advice.
If you could teach grade school, what grade would you teach?
None.
That's why I said if you were to teach. I started the sentence off with if.
If I could teach any grade, it would probably be 6.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, man, and I would tell you why. Yep. Mr. Grant was my 6th grade teacher. That was my favorite teacher.
I think that's my favorite teacher.
Yeah. So I think when I think of like what grade, I think I would want to be like him and just teach the 6th grade.
Man, I told you when he caught me cheating, right?
Yeah.
Man, like that was a real shameful moment for me. Like I was at the dude's house studying. And then when it came down to it, I curled up like, I don't know if I'm ready. I'm about to he caught me and that look on his face.
Did you even try?
I didn't even try. Like I studied with him. It was that look like
disappointment.
Yeah, disappointment. Like we studied it and I know you know it, but when it came down to it, you still choose to go that route, like without even trying. Like,
I feel like Mr. Grant.
And he just shook his head and just
was one of them teachers that I'm talking about. You know what I mean?
With the relationship.
Yeah, like I there was never a day I felt like Mr. Grant didn't love us.
Man, straight up.
Mr. Grant was mean. You know, I tell people all the time, love doesn't mean an absence of chastening and discipline, right?
Just like a parent.
Hey, that's real though. Hey, I ain't never even thought about how mean he was, but cool as hell. Like he was mean, but especially if he was a little black boy in his class, you could say in the same breath, Mr. Grant hella mean, but you also knew Mr. Grant loved you. He really tried to make it impossible for you to fail his class. Like you just had to be, and he would call you deaf, dumb, and stupid in a minute. But he like you would really just have to be like, I'm not doing shit for him to fail you. Like Mr. Grant was cool. Him, I had Mr. Hasten. But Mr. Grant was more like, I thought was more relatable. And he definitely built that relationship with you. When you an elementary school teacher, it's easier though. You got one class of 30. What did Mr. Hasten do for you?
Nothing.
Man.
Dog, I ain't even trying to be funny.
Besides taking us to Hogan to do the pace setters, had us running in the hallways.
So what? So what did you said too? Like you can't think of what you can draw from him.
I just remember.
Was it him being a teacher in his style, like more than it was the teaching?
It was definitely his style as a teacher. But I just remember when I was slack off in his class, like I knew I was gonna get a phone call home.
He did you like that?
If he didn't call home, he was gonna say, like I couldn't just fail his class.
He was on you?
He was on me.
He wasn't on me. That's why I wanted to know what you got out of this class. What grade did you have him in?
7.
Hey, that's when I had him. So look, I had him 7th and 8th. You know what I used to do for my grades?
He had the most fucked up ass toupee.
Yeah, and you know what I used to do for my grades, dog?
What?
We had the black box, right? The A and the B.
Yeah.
And from channel 1 through 20, 20 being that spice.
Yeah.
Dog, I used to record tapes for him on HBO and give them to him for grades, dog.
Are you serious?
So I was like, what was your experience like? He was like, hey, big time. Hey, big time. Hey, I seen the HBO preview because we had the preview guide. Remember the preview guide channel that used to come down?
You have to wait for it to
you gotta
go
wait for your rotation to
all
come
the way.
Hey. I seen that.
That was crazy.
If you can get that movie, we might be able to bop. I was like,
hey, that's exactly how he talked.
I was like, all right. What I got right? You got a D. I don't know. Try to get that C plus, B minus. You know what I mean? I was like, hey, I got 2 movies. And I used to shoot on the movie. The whole 2 years, I used to just shoot on movies, dog.
Hey, that's exactly.
I shot him Friday when it came out. No, that came out in the 9th grade.
You were in school when that came out.
I think that came out in 9th grade. It was his 8th or 9th, but I still shot it to him though.
Hey, that's kind.
Cause I even after I didn't have him in class, I used to still that was my dog.
Though.
He built a relationship with me.
All right, let me ask you this, because y'all talking about people that don't nobody know. This just because of school, it may not seem like it has anything to do with school, but it do. So I was talking with some people, and I was saying,
my height.
No, I'm not.
She trying to get a disclaimer. It ain't got nothing
I'm
to do with
just
it,
telling you
but
how
it got
the
something to do with it.
conversation
But it's not.
started.
Hey, now you gonna.
I'm just telling you how the conversation started.
You about to do a donut.
Okay.
Here we go.
It's gonna come around.
I
do it all the time.
It definitely will come around.
Get my aha moment.
You don't do it.
I do. I be going left, and then I weave back in. Y'all be like, damn.
But you don't.
Go ahead. Go.
Anyway, we were talking about sports, and I was telling them how I want Chum to do karate, and Brandon want him to do boxing. Okay. And I was just explaining my difference of why I prefer karate. I was like, for Chum, for him in particular, I think karate will be way more beneficial just in life than boxing would, because boxing, I feel like it's no end goal. You just are hitting things, and I don't know. I just don't feel like there's no life lessons there. Whereas karate, I feel like it would teach you discipline and give you confidence, because it's goal oriented and it's just relying on yourself. Like, you don't need nobody else to build up but yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's an individual sport, but that can boost your confidence, teach you discipline, just teach you structure and all that kind of stuff, which I think would be perfect for him in particular. And then we started talking about that, and then we got on how they were saying how that our kids should just be confident in their self and their ability, whether somebody is like praising them up or rewarding them or whatever. And then we started talking about school, about like the honor rolls and different awards and everything like that. And then they were saying how their school, they don't give their kids honor roll because they don't want to discourage kids who are trying but not being successful. And I was like, that's kind of whack, because I feel like,
give me my reward. Give me my bonus in life. If you do good, you get a bonus.
And right, but they were saying, if I tell my kid, if you were trying your best, then your best is good enough.
No, it's a
standard.
And
I'm like, yeah, but I use Janai example. I was like, if Janai is telling me that he did his best on his handwriting and it still looks like crap, it ain't good enough. Like, you got to do better. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't, right. I just feel like that's just building them up for like
failure,
to live in a bubble, because that's not what the world is. You know what I'm saying? So they were like, they don't give awards and all that stuff to discourage. And I was like, I feel like that's kind of not fair. Even though their kid could be trying and doing their best and still not meeting the goal set to reach an award, I still think that the people who reach the reward should still be awarded. So,
it's interesting. I want to be careful how I say this. So the world is changing, and
she old school.
She is.
I'm old school. I'm finding that out lately, that I am old school.
The world is changing.
You got circumcised,
and the and the losers are rising up. Now, I want to be careful in how I say that.
Everybody's so sensitive now.
Because
is that related to like social media area?
I don't know what it's related to.
Because you can become a millionaire.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't related to that. And when I say the losers are rising up, I don't mean to call people losers per se.
Right. It's just.
But just saying, like, if you weren't
standard of what someone
if you
would call
weren't the person who was on honor roll, or if you're not the person who won first place, right? Then you technically a loser, and those people are the ones who are the ones standing at the front of the mob saying, like, we got to get rid of, because they didn't like it. See, we thought that it toughened those people up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it built their character. Nah, it just made them resentful. They never forgot about not getting a reward when they was in the 6th grade. And now that they're an adult and they have the influence to make things like that go away, that's what they doing.
Man, they raising a generation of losers.
They raising
Daddy
It's
come
not so
home.
much
they're
a
raising a
generation
generation
of
of
losers,
people
it's
who
just-
are not, who they think are not going to prioritize winning and being on top, right? Because they want to build kids' self-esteem.
Yeah, like believe in yourself and you can
Right.
be whatever you want to be no matter what nobody say.
I think
You're
what they,
always a winner.
I think what they
But
forget
that's
is-
not true.
I think that's something good to tell your kid, but it got to be something behind it.
It has to be a
It gotta-
balance
it
because
gotta be
that's not the
something- yeah.
reality. The reality of the situation is you're not always going to be the best.
No, you're not.
Even if you're trying your best, you're
Yes.
still not, maybe might not be the best.
Yeah.
So
But
as
that don't mean that you got to stop trying. Continue to strive and try and try and try and try. Because I,
think
don't
it-
know.
so what's the point of keep going if you're gonna keep telling me that I'm not?
Because one
gonna
day
be
you'll
the
be
best?
successful at something.
But if I've been mediocre my whole life,
Well, if you're mediocre,
it's like, but I'm saying you keep it at A1 and you telling me, you good, yeah. I mean, them niggas over there, that's what you want to get to, but yeah.
well, I wouldn't even so much compare it to somebody else. I would
But
compare
it's a
it
standard.
to like.
I'm going off the. It's
Well,
a, it's
what
a
I'm saying
standard.
is when
If
I say I wouldn't compare
I'm-
it to somebody else, I was like, I wouldn't be like, you need
I
to be like
think-
that person.
I'm just saying I can't. I'm not talking about in particular, but I'm just saying like
I'm
I'm
just
always
talking about
need to
in
meet them
general.
standard.
Here-
I would,
I'm sorry. You all
go ahead, it's fine.
I think in
I
terms
won.
I think in terms of my class, I have some students that turn in extraordinary work. I got other students that turn in shit work and they still expect an A. And the one thing I try to tell them is, bruh, you're competing with this person who turned in extraordinary work. I don't give a fuck how many participation trophies and all that you got as a kid. If you can't compete with them, or if you're not aware of how far you're off from them, then you're going to be walking through this world wondering why you can't get any advancement in life because you ain't never had to worry about, you know what I'm saying, trophies. And like, to me, trophies and stuff, it's not about making a person feel bad as much as it's letting you
I
know
feel like it's giving somebody hope.
this is how far you are away from excellence.
Yeah, it's a standard.
Right. Now, you may not be able to get to excellence,
But you have something to strive
but
for.
at least you know where you at.
Because if you have nothing to strive for
Right.
and nothing to like hope to obtain, like what are you gonna do?
And then conversely, you got some people who think they're doing their best and they need to see excellence in order to raise their level.
Hey, but like kind of like how Common Core is changing, isn't teaching and grading changing? Like it's just based off a standard and then past what you think the standard is, or what you know what I'm saying, what they
Right, I
hired
think-
what they hired you to be the standard.
I think teaching and grading is changing based on,
It ain't based off what you just said.
I think
How the
it's-
losers on the uproar.
I think it's based off who are the parents in your community. We teach the same, like we might teach difference in terms of like Common Core, but that's what you
all
call
the same.
innovation. and
Like
stuff.
how would you grade
These
it?
kids are still learning the same stuff we was
Right.
learning back in the day.
Yeah.
Like
First of
what-
all, I think school is pointless. Can I just say? I just think it's pointless. Most subjects are just really
You
pointless.
do know there is a movement
to like end
that is-
school.
not in school, but that is discouraging
History.
kids from going to college.
I just feel like it
I can't say
depends.
I
I don't
somewhat
feel
can't
like
be against that
everybody.
movement,
College
dog.
is for everybody.
I
But
feel
I
like that
feel
too.
like if you are doing once a specific trade, like
Right.
doctors, you got to go to school.
But it's a lot of people
And,
who are looking
like-
at that. Like if you going to be a African American study major, it's like, are you really gonna get
Just go to
$80,000
Africa
in
and study.
debt to
Or you can just go to
Study
Africa and study.
right? Or you can just go to the library and get a book. You
Right.
know what I mean?
That
Like,
makes sense.
like I think a lot of people are saying that. Like, are you going to go into debt to get an education that's not really going to?
So are you going to
Hey,
go
look.
into debt to go get a job just to pay for your education for the rest of your life?
I was listening to some podcast. It was like last year, or the year before, when a guy was saying that he thinks when kids graduate, they said as soon as you turn 18, whatever you decide to do at your point at 18, do it. And if you don't know, from 18, don't go to college. From 18 to, what do you say, 24? You said 18 to 24, figure out whatever it is you want to do. Don't even focus on career, whatever you have a passion for. And then from that point on, at 24, you'll know if you want to go to college or if you want to go in the career field without going in debt.
Right.
How you feel about that?
Man,
All right, you too, Tiff.
I honestly think, bruh, there are so many avenues to be financially affluent that our kids can make a decision on what they. I really feel like if you put good values and training in your kids, they're going to be successful whether they go to college or not.
No, but how you feel about what I said? Like, just as far as like Jay
taking a break.
Just a
Well,
break,
you know
like
what?
a
I
4-year
feel like
break. To
our
like not to be lazy.
community-
It's just like
The
I
majority
need you to figure it
I
out.
feel
Like
like
not press them.
I feel like our community are so quick to, as soon as our kids graduate, you gotta go. Nobody like wants to give them that time to like fall back and think about what they're doing. It's just how I feel like we just been. But we can.
Most
break that
Americans
cycle.
don't even work in the same field that they got their degree in.
They don't. They just need that degree paper to get in the door.
But once again, do you agree with not letting your kid?
I think that was our way of saying we agree.
You didn't say that though. Like, nigga, yes.
He just trying to be out, thinking he hella deep and
Nah,
came
I'm
with
not.
a good question. And
If my kid told me after she graduated, I want to go to Jamaica for 2 years, live with my grandfather, experience, I'd be like, go.
Mm-hmm.
One, I'm financially stable to where
you'll still be able to take care of her.
right, like you
Somebody
good.
has to.
Like if you come back and you good, like I got you. But two is like I'd rather you spend 2 years doing something, traveling the world, whatever, finding yourself, than to spend 2 years in college.
Well, for your daughter,
Spending my
it makes
money.
sense because she's younger, so that makes sense.
Right.
I don't know how I would feel because I don't know, just me having a daughter and for her to take some time off and then come and decide what kind of career she want to be. I don't know. I just think about like her family and like her having kids and what if you decide to come back after 2 years, want to be a doctor? I was like, dang, that's gonna be like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more years. You gotta be.
But you take all that consideration, like when she pick a career path.
A lot of
like,
folks ain't even having kids now until they mid-30s.
It's crazy. Got hella old parents.
Like it's a lot of folks that's
Like
intentionally
old
choosing.
parents.
I don't know. I got a friend right now whose son. I got two. I got one friend whose son go to Hampton, and one friend.
That's in Virginia, right?
Yeah, and one friend whose son is going to Howard. Dude who went to Hampton, like they went out there, got a house and everything.
Dang.
And they put cameras up in the house, you know what I'm saying, just for security reasons. And they was looking on the camera like and noticing day after day, all this nigga was doing was sitting at home.
Because after a while, you forget the cameras is there.
Right. So he just sitting at home blowing and playing video games.
And his parents are
all day.
watching.
His parents is watching. And they like, we done went out there, bought a house, paying out-of-state tuition fees, all of that for him to just blow every day.
Yeah.
So they brought him home, but that's a year and a half wasted. And then the other kid, he go to Howard. His parents already, he only been there one semester. His parents already is like, if the grades don't improve at the end of this semester,
It's a wrap.
he coming home. So now it's like, man, you could have gave him a gap year, sent him to wherever.
a gap year.
You know what I mean?
saying.
And then let him go to college when but instead for both of them, it's like, y'all done wasted a year and a half,
Yeah,
put
a lot
all
of
that
money.
money in.
I don't think that
For the
college
same
is
result.
for everybody, but maybe it's not so much that college isn't for everybody. It's college isn't for everybody right now,
Yes.
to where they might need that break
Yes.
to mature and get their mind
Hell
right,
yeah.
And that's what
then
I'm
move
saying.
on into the
Sometimes
next
you got
phase.
to get in
That's
that real
what I'm
world and
Kind
figure
of
it out.
like how you got to be in high school now. You got to have a year of college for the MBA. Like, take that year, go to school. It's just like, I'm just using that as an example.
I'm
It's like,
gonna say now.
Yeah.
what I'm saying
No, I'm
is,
with you. What they trying to say is for.
what I'm saying is, Before you can go right from high school to the NBA. Now you got to wait a year.
Old school parents go straight from high school straight to a job.
So
forever.
I'm saying instead of now, like we're saying, go to high school, go to college. But I'm like, no, you might need that year break. And then let's go to school.
I mean, I graduated with my BA at 28 and with my PhD at 32. You know what I mean? So it was like I took a bunch of time off, worked, whole bunch of other things. But when I got back in school,
You was in
for
it.
real about it.
I was for real about
Because
it.
it's different. You're
Yeah.
mature. You're older. You was like, wait a minute.
And I knew
if it don't
exactly
make,
what it
if
is
this
I wanted to
don't
do.
make no sense with all this money, I'm not about to be wasting this. Because at this point, it's probably going to be coming out of your pocket the older you are.
Exactly.
So you're like, let me think about it. Let me just.
And I went and boom, 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 knocked it out the way, right? So that's why and maybe I don't like when people compare us to other communities. When they be like, well, white parents ain't and Asian parents ain't. Well, we ain't white and we ain't Asian. So why is we trying to live to their standard? Our standard might be that our like, just think about it. What if a group of black parents all decided, like, we're not going to force our babies to go to college. We're going to force them to go backpacking around Africa for a year. You know what I mean? And then send them to college, right? Like, we could create our own standards for what we expect from our children, because we ain't got the money to be wasting while you figure the first 2 years of your schooling on what you want to do.
Dude, that's everything you saying is what I said to my nephew, dog. I was like, look, man, just take some time off.
Right.
Chill.
Just
Like,
chill.
you young as hell. I was like, no need to rush none of this. Look, man, if you want to take some time off, I said, I don't got a problem with you taking time off. Just get a job. I just don't want you sitting around the house chilling. If you want to go in the Air Force, go to Air Force. If you want to go to college, I said, I have no problem with supporting you going to a JC. I pay for it. I help you out. No problem. I was like, I just need you to decide what you want to do, because nobody gave me that opportunity, so I want to give it to you.
I told him, I said, if I was you, I'd be on the first plane to Germany.
Yeah.
I was like, I would go spend a month with my cousin out there. Like, I was like, what else you gonna do? Like, I would just go to Germany, and then I would call my uncle and auntie and be like, hey, it was cool in Germany, but I'm about to go backpack through Europe. And, you know, like, I'll call y'all when I'm ready to come. Like who gonna be mad at you?
Yeah.
Who gonna stop you? You ain't got no kids, no responsibility. Like, you can do that now while you figuring out things. Because once you get on that path,
Once you cross that line
Ain't no
of
coming
adulting,
back.
it's over.
Yeah.
it's done.
It's over.
It's
That's what
done.
I said, you 6 months out of high school, dog. Relax.
Like, chill.
Like, don't compare yourself to nobody. Like, this coming from me to you.
What kids don't realize is it all comes back. So what I mean by that, it's funny. When I was in high school, I used to want to be skinny. Because everybody else was skinny and I was fat. Then maybe about 5-6 years after high school,
Everybody got fat.
everybody came to me.
You was already ahead of the trend.
Everybody came to me, and I was like,
Hey.
I was seeing dudes that I hadn't seen in 5-6 years. Like, nigga, you was like $120 in high school,
That's
nigga.
heck of funny.
Now you $2 bills plus. Like, welcome to the club.
Are you guys going to a reunion next year? Or this?
Yeah.
My gosh, it's this year.
Damn.
Bruh,
Oh my goodness, 20 years out the
I
gate.
don't even know if we have anybody responsible enough.
No,
in
you guys
our
don't. I'm
class.
sure you guys
I
will.
don't think so. We ain't had one yet.
No,
ain't had
we
no
ain't had
5,
nothing.
no 10, no 15.
I don't think we got responsible people like that.
So y'all don't think y'all going to have a 20 year?
I don't think so.
But-
I know
Vallejo Unified.
for sure we're having a 20 year.
Yeah, I be at y'all junk getting it popping.
Man, I don't think I got responsible
Hogan
people
organized.
like that.
I know for sure we'll have one.
Hey, if you in my graduating class and you responsible, can you get
Holla
that
at your
cracking?
boy, for real.
Yeah.
Just let me know. Hey, let me.
All y'all going to do is post it on Facebook, and it's going to generate a little bit of buzz.
They're
and
gonna
then
have
it's
that damn Foley.
Hey, hell,
Drizzle down.
we do our 1 year anniversary. That might end up being 1 year, Two Dudes and a Chick podcast anniversary / Valel High 99.
For real.
Heck no. Not with this partner on the watch.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, let me
you
ask
ain't
you-
even got a school no more.
Let me ask y'all
Y'all
something.
ain't got no mascot no more.
And let me ask y'all something, man. I was in a situation.
Let me ask. Why do you start your questions off like that?
What am I supposed to say?
Just ask a question.
Hey, let me ask my question first.
Go ahead.
Now you ask your question.
All right.
Now I want to know your question.
Yeah, I kind of do too. I'm locked in on mine. I ain't gonna forget.
Okay.
You see my fit?
Oh my gosh.
What's wrong with it?
It's not even a fit.
nice
He got on some
pajamas,
pajama
huh?
pants and a shirt.
Yeah, that's it.
But don't it look like a pajama fit?
No.
You thought it was pajamas when you walked in, right?
Yeah.
How can
See?
you not think those pants are
All right, go
pajamas?
ahead, dog.
Are they not pajamas?
The
No,
pants
and
are,
the
the shirt's
they go
not.
together.
Oh my gosh, go ahead.
I feel fitted tonight. Go ahead.
I didn't feel like the pants and the shirt went together though.
Because they don't.
They got purple in
I
it.
just felt like you had on a random shirt with some
And put on some pants. Like he came home.
Not once in my mind did I say, "Oh, this nigga got all the matches."
He just completely blew his little
Hey,
how he was
nah,
feeling.
nah,
He
the
just
whole
swear this
day.
looked like a set.
Hey, the whole day I was like, Tiff.
He just swear that looked like a set. And I'm like, why are you wearing that?
I ain't gonna lie. I thought you were gonna compliment me before I brought it up. I thought you were gonna say like,
It looked like
I
you've been out all day. You came home, changed your pants. This is what it looked
What?
like.
It do though.
I just threw on this shirt with these pajama pants. And I put it on, looked at me. I said,
but
God,
she
dog, just
right.
kind of
There's
go.
no
It looked
purple
like
in your
you-
It
pants.
look, it's blue, it's purples right there.
That's
There,
not
yeah.
It's a feint.
purple.
I see what you're saying, but not.
You feel me?
really.
I thought you were gonna be
No.
like, cuz that's a clean little fit you got. Answer your man. Go to your question, dog.
Hey, nah. I was gonna say. I really don't have a question. I just want to tell y'all something
What?
because I can't talk about it with nobody else.
All right, slap it on me.
One of the kids in my group, mama got the biggest butt. Fantastic, right?
It's big and it look right though.
Is it like? Tell me about it.
Man. So I noticed it like a month ago
Not a month ago.
when I first seen it. But I didn't really say nothing. Then one of my kids,
Hold on. How old is she? Give her her age.
she gotta be in her 40s.
How
Are
tall
you
is she?
sure?
I don't know.
She black?
Yeah, she black.
Give an estimate. How tall is she?
5'6", 5'7".
That's pretty tall.
About weight.
I hate guessing black women's weight, but I'm gonna say a solid
Why you always wrong?
180.
180.
190.
Okay.
I feel like a black woman would be like 200 pounds, but not look it. And you'd be like, what is you, like 160? And she'd be like, nigga, I'm 220. You'd be like, what? She'd be like,
Where?
Hey. Okay, but is it distribute in the right places?
yeah, bro, listen.
He
Hold
just
on.
said it
I'm
was
trying
nice.
to let the people know.
It's
I'm
what
painting
the
the picture.
weight distribute or her butt?
No,
What
I'm
are we
saying
talking
like
about?
the weight distribute throughout her whole body. Like she looks.
Does she got a banging body or just a big butt?
You can have a big butt and that's just it. If the stomach ain't cool. See? Look. See? Look.
She just got a big butt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, I was, bruh,
she got
just,
a flat stomach.
She just,
You know she's seen you looking at her butt.
I think
she
she
got
got
a-
I think she got a flat stomach.
Oh, nigga, she good.
But she's
do
just
she got-
a thick woman with a capital.
So this is
Okay.
what you want to tell us that one of your students' mama had a big butt?
It is. Because I've been wanting to talk about it since I've seen it earlier tonight.
What did you want to talk about?
I just want to talk
Get it
about
off
how
your chest, brother.
fantastic it
Oh
looked.
my God.
What
Take a
did she
picture.
have
First of
on
all,
to
I
make
was
you say that?
surprised. She had on.
Oh my
So
gosh.
she had on one of
cannot
them,
with this conversation right now.
She had on one of them skirts that come up over the belly button. One of them
High-waisted.
One of them high waisted skirts.
Oh.
But
In the rain?
it zipped in the front.
In the rain?
Yeah, it went. It was low. It wasn't. It was.
Probably had on some boots.
Yeah, she did.
Okay. In the storm?
She did.
She's not gonna be in no sandals. She got
Yeah,
boots
she's a
on.
professional.
That's cool. In the rain? Okay, go.
She's professional. And so I was just seeing her from the front today. Like I had seen it before, but what she had on last time, I was like, yeah. But today she had on the high waisted with the heel boots.
Tiffany and Brennan do not condone gazing at women booty unexpected
I-
talking about the podcast.
whatever,
This is
bruh.
off and
So
the
we
doc.
was taking a picture, and somebody asked her like, "Hey, can you take a picture of the group?"
So when she grabbed the phone and walked back, you seen it?
She grabbed the
Lord
phone
have
and
mercy.
walked away, and her son was standing right next to me. I had to look at the. I had to. I said, "Ooh!" I turned.
No, you
I was looking at the ceiling the whole time. I couldn't look her in the eye for the rest of the night.
Oh my God. It's just a butt.
Man, it was
he knew he was going to be staring at it.
Yes, I knew I was going to be staring at it.
You got to know your place.
Because I wanted, like, it's almost like I had one of them robot eyes that could, like, give you the exact proportions and put it in 3D and everything. And man, I was hurt. I was hurt.
You could have just said, you look real nice today.
Man, I could have. But I didn't. But that, ooh.
Okay, we could have waited for that question. Go ahead,
I know
honey.
we could have. But I'm glad to have got that off my chest.
Feel better?
I feel a lot better.
Oh, my God.
She beautiful, too. I ain't even gonna lie.
Hey, you look better.
She beautiful, but rotund.
She single?
I don't know.
You're looking at engaged booty.
He looking at a cat booty.
Oh, nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
All right, go ahead, Brandon.
Yeah, go ahead.
Nah, I just wanted to ask y'all about something situation.
You should put that down.
An employee, say hypothetically, an employee gets really sick. Like, let's just say you have a heart attack at work.
Okay.
Calls his boss and say, boss, I'm having problems with breathing. The boss tell him, yo, I come over there and pick you up if you need to. Nah, I'm good. My wife gonna pick me up. I'm gonna just drop the car off and go home sick. All right, cool. He calls somebody else and tell them, yo, I just had a heart attack. I'm at the hospital right now in the ER. The person that he told tells the boss, yo, so-and-so had a heart attack. The boss don't say anything. The boss later on get a call from his boss to say, did you know so-and-so had a heart attack? The younger boss say, yeah. I just found out like a couple hours ago. Why he didn't tell me? He didn't tell me. Next time somebody have a heart attack at work, and you find out, I don't care if you're a third party, let me know. Look, I understand what you're saying, but once it didn't come from him to me, I didn't even know if it was cool to even talk about that because it's a work type situation. Now, I'm going to tell you, but I really forgot because I didn't want to tell dude business because I didn't know how personal it is. Well, I guess I'm talking about me now. So it went from hypothetical to me getting into it.
I think we all. I think we knew from the
beginning.
Cat was out the bag a long time ago. So anyway, dog, am I in the wrong for that?
You are.
Why?
Because you should have told him.
Why?
Because once you heard that was on you.
But he told a manager.
He told a manager.
Yeah, the same level as me.
But
he's my employee.
No, I got you. But you still should have told your boss. I think of that with my kids, right? We get that a lot of times where you ask a kid, "Hey, how you doing?" Kid is like, "I'm good," and then another kid will come around and be like, "Hey, bro, like he just got kicked out of his house."
What? I just talked to him.
And you be like, he just said he was like, yeah, but he just got kicked out of his house. He, saying he's sleeping in the car or something. You got to go then. I got to go then to somebody that's over me and be like, hey, I don't know how true it is or not. I don't know what's up because I talked to the kid. He said he was cool. But just in case anything come back on us, here's what I heard. So you got to do that because in that situation, you just CYA. Yeah. So, yeah, you should have said something.
I can dig it.
You're wrong.
You're wrong. All right.
It's okay, though.
Nah, I ain't tripping. I was just taking that like, man, look.
I would have said something just so that person don't come back and say, I did tell him that I was having a heart attack. And then now all of a sudden it's your word and his word.
Okay. Nah, it wasn't even a big thing. I was just thinking about it when I was just having a conversation. Like, I was like, yo, look, homeboy didn't tell me. It didn't happen on a job. Like, he just had well, it was the start of it. But at the same time, I was just like, like, how personal is this? Like, can we even say something about this?
Yeah, you
like,
can always say something about a heart attack.
All right, carry on.
Both of your guys'
What do you? How you feel about it? How you
underwhelming?
How you feel about it?
About what?
I should have said something.
Oh, your boss?
Yeah.
That somebody under him had a heart attack?
She wasn't even paying attention. What's going on with the?
I was, because I already heard this story before when it happened.
Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, was I in the wrong?
Yeah, you should have told your boss.
All right. Hey, what's going on with
Put
TV?
yourself in
I'm with you.
that situation.
What's going on? You know, I'm trying to get off of it. All right, I'm wrong.
He don't like being wrong.
He be asking questions knowing we're going to be agreeing with him. And then when we
He act
don't.
surprised. I thought y'all was going to agree with this. In what world?
And then when we don't, it's like, I don't want to talk about it no more.
No, I'm like, all right, y'all. All right, I agree. I value your opinion. So when y'all tell me something I'm in the wrong about, I'm like, all right, cool. He broke it down.
Well,
you
you're
agree.
in the wrong with
It's
your
like,
pajama matchup.
That is not in the wrong.
That's totally in the wrong, bro.
We're gonna
Take a
take
picture of this. Yeah, like, hey, get a picture of this because this is not in the wrong.
It is,
It
and
is,
definitely in the wrong.
But man, are you excited about Seattle?
Oh yeah, you guys are leaving tomorrow.
I am.
I didn't realize you guys were leaving tomorrow.
I didn't realize we were leaving tomorrow too until
I thought you guys were leaving on Friday.
I thought we were too until I got a text that said, "Can you leave at?"
Were you
12
guys
tomorrow?"
always supposed to leave on Thursday?
Yeah.
Oh,
The reason why I said that so we get a whole day.
all Friday.
Yeah.
Did you book the room for Thursday?
Yeah.
No. Are you sure?
Yeah. So what's going on?
When we getting back? Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's going on, people, man? We going to PodCon.
PodCon. Yeah.
PodCon 2 up in Seattle. Me, the
Just
Doc.
the dudes. I ain't
Yeah,
going.
she ain't going. Me and the Doc and a couple of our homeboys finna saddle up, take a little long ride, 10-hour ride.
It's
like driving to Vegas,
Yeah,
huh?
it'll be a solid 12.
Solid 12.
That's like
Yeah.
driving to Vegas.
If we leave at 6, I think we'll be rolling in around 6, 7 in the morning.
That's cool enough to get some sleep.
That's
Yeah.
great. That's beautiful.
Then you don't need the hotel for Thursday.
Huh?
Just ignore that. But yeah, that's.
Why are you
I didn't get it
ignoring
for
that?
Thursday.
I just asked you.
She did just
If
ask
you guys were leaving at 12, where were you guys going to stay at Thursday? Because you guys would get up there.
She
No, we got there Friday morning still.
Leaving at 12 o'clock in the afternoon?
12 more hours later. What time we got there?
Yeah, but you'd have had to get a hotel for
You would've
because
had
that
to-
still
No,
counts
we
as
gonna
Thursday night.
We gonna sleep in the car.
In the-
Oh, okay.
It's in the
Y'all
morning.
didn't know that, huh?
No, we did not.
Y'all didn't know that, huh?
Look,
and didn't he just say he got the room for Thursday? Didn't
Hey,
he
look,
just
no,
say that?
No, this
Well,
is
we
the plan.
appreciate you.
This is the plan. This is the plan.
Good thing you guys are leaving a little bit later.
Look, we was gonna leave at 12, 2, 1, like 2, get there like 2, 3 in the morning, and then check in. Like they gonna let you early check in, like 8 if they got a room available.
They will.
Maybe.
But
I'm
we
saying
would
we
have
just- we would've
left
been
at 12. We would have got there at 12 midnight. So we'd have had to wait 8 hours.
8 hours, get it in, go to sleep.
No, I'm not sleeping
After
in no
being
car,
in the
man.
road for that long.
What?
Hey, well, it worked out to y'all advantage. I thought y'all knew.
Jeez. I don't think nobody knew.
How would we know that? Nigga, you barely knew that.
First of all, note to self, everybody, do not let him make the arrangement. You know when we went to Disneyland a couple of years ago, I let him make the where we're gonna stay, and we did Airbnb. This fool started. He rented out a whole house, but he rented out a room with we had the whole family, and he rented out the room.
Weird as hell. I was like, trinket. It is what it is. They look
it
safe.
was so strange staying in the house. They were in the house, like right there. Like, oh my god.
And you go to the bathroom. Can I help you with something? Like, no. Just go to the bathroom.
Just going to the bathroom with our kids.
Well, if you want to know what's going on or anything, I was like,
Wait,
just
please
go.
tell me y'all had a private bathroom.
No.
It was shared with them.
Yeah.
They didn't use it though. It was like you had to go through the living room where
They
they watch the
absolutely,
TV.
that bathroom absolutely was in use.
No, they didn't use it while we were there, but they use it regularly.
Crazy. I'm like, you
So
are
y'all
no
got a whole
longer.
family of 5.
You are no longer in charge
what
of
happened
making
was-
any plans.
What happened is I didn't read the fine print, dog. Like it
The
said,
5, it's
no,
in bold letters, private
no,
room.
Tiff. Then her ad was kind of deceiving, wasn't it?
I don't think I would have made that mistake, but that's just me.
But was the ad kind of deceiving?
I never saw the ad.
She said we get this all the time. Like, nah, it's the way you worded it.
Okay.
She did it kind of sick.
Well, let's be clear. You did not word the sleeping in the car for 8
And
hours.
not only that, he just confirmed. I was like, "Did you get it for Thursday?" He said, "Yeah."
Yeah.
I thought you said leaving Thursday. Anyway, we're going to
It's not anyway.
Look, once again, he wrong. He wants to change his
and
subject.
I don't feel wrong.
And
You're
that's
definitely
and that's
wrong.
exactly
Dude.
why I called and asked
Listen,
earlier
because
if you
people
had
are
looked at
not
the weather
travel
report.
like you. You can thug, you can thug it out. You can sleep in the car, but you can't assume everybody will do that.
I do that.
Bruh,
I apologize.
Listen, I could, if it's me and you driving
Uh-huh.
and we get there 8 hours early, I'm okay with like, all right, bro, let's just knock this out. And
Yeah.
Because I do crazy stuff like that. Like, it's been times I done had to stay overnight in Phoenix.
Not four
that
dudes.
I done slept in the rental car because I was like, I'm not getting a hotel
Y'all gonna be
room.
freezing in that car.
But I'm not doing that with 4 niggas.
Y'all gonna be hecka cold
Why
in that
not?
car.
I'm not cuddling up in a car with 4 niggas, bruh.
Bring your
not?
blankets and your
It's not
pillow.
happening.
Why, nigga?
Nigga, because I'm not. Nigga,
So
that's
me and you, but you wouldn't do it with everybody else.
Yeah, because with me and you, I can get comfortable. I can lean my seat all the way back. With 4 niggas, you ain't leaning nothing
Ain't nobody
back.
leaning nothing.
And ain't nobody leaning on me,
Ain't nobody going like this, falling asleep.
You wouldn't let me lean on your shoulder.
bruh.
No.
Let me tell you what.
He barely didn't want you buy them underwear.
Look, let me tell you what would have happened. We'd have got to Seattle. I'd have called an old high school friend. I'd have had to go sleep on her couch for the night.
All of us. You got
Not
Chuck.
all of us.
I know people he know.
Oh my goodness.
You would have got Chuck.
First of all, so what have we learned? Don't let him make the accommodations.
Nah, just
Don't let
ask
him
questions.
No.
I thought everybody knew.
Who asked that question? So we gonna stay in the car? We gonna be sleeping in the car? Like, who would think to ask that question? That's not
Especially
like
when you tell everybody I got a room already.
now they'll ask. But who would have
I
thought
got a
like
room
so we gonna
already booked.
yeah, the room is booked, we good.
Hey,
and then
look.
we gonna
Hey,
stay in the car till we check in.
I wish this would have happened so we could have came back and told the story how everybody looked at this nigga and was like, nigga,
nah, we get in the room tonight.
like, is you serious?
Hey, ain't a big
Now I
deal,
need for you
though.
to double check your reservations
It's
to make
good.
sure that they're legit.
It's good.
Okay.
Trust
I
me.
don't trust it, Ijoma. I will make him
You
double
got
check.
one room?
Yeah.
You know he did.
Yeah, 1 room, 4 beds.
It's not 4 beds in one
It
room.
is 4 bed. Well, let me see.
It's
It's
probably
2 doubles.
It's 2 doubles
And a
we probably-
rollout.
yeah,
Couch bed?
hey.
you got a couch
Oh,
bed?
couch bed.
Wait, are you guys staying at the embassy?
Yeah, we at the embassies.
Oh,
So
okay.
are you?
Yeah.
So if you're at the embassy, that is for it could be for it. Just gotta get a who gonna be on the pool out.
Nah, I think I don't know. We at the embassies.
I
But,
don't think you guys are at the embassy.
Yeah, I'll spoon with somebody. Somebody gonna get spooned.
Nobody's gonna want to. Just because you're okay with spooning, don't mean somebody else want to spoon with you.
Somebody sleeping in
It's
bed.
what I don't understand why he is
This
not
trip has
understanding
turned into a
this.
disaster
Y'all ain't even left yet.
before my eyes.
Y'all ain't even left yet.
This trip has turned into a
Hey, look.
disaster.
Hey, if nobody wants to sleep with me, I'll sleep on the. I take the hit. I'll sleep on the couch or something. I'll figure it out. It ain't no big
If
deal.
y'all in the embassy, y'all ain't got no couch.
Hey, look.
Y'all gonna be out. Listen, for the record, when he was making this, I was like, "All y'all gonna be in one room?" He was like, "Yeah." I was
the
like,
niggas.
"Okay."
So listen, normally I don't get down like that, but I got 3 trips this month, so I'm like, it's
Come on
whatever.
now. Yeah, man. I said we gonna salve
Now I
it.
would like to see what room you got.
I said we gonna salve it out. Everybody's like, all right, cool. I was like, just
Yeah,
a
but there's
quick little,
levels to
It's a quick little
savageness.
turnaround. We gonna.
I'm cool with saving it out.
I feel like there's levels to it
Sleeping in the
though.
car for 8 hours in cold Seattle is not saving
Hey,
it
I
out.
forgot about
Y'all
the
would
snow.
have been hella.
I did forget about the snow.
It's not snowing out
It's
there.
not snowing.
But
Oh,
you
we
guys,
good then.
Yeah, I
it's
checked.
freezing though.
I checked I checked it.
It's cold.
There's snow like nobody's business going to Tahoe right now.
yeah.
okay.
Can you listen to into the rain.
Right. But
Oh man, Jen picked the wrong time
appears
to go to
be
Reno.
it appears to be all rain going up to Seattle.
Yep, and it's gonna rain the whole weekend. You guys are there.
But I just wanted to make sure. One, I don't know how to drive in snow, and I ain't trying to learn as we drive.
I drove in blizzards.
Now, when you say drive in snow, what you think the experience will be?
That's why I was like.
You ain't never drove to Tahoe with it snowing or it's snow?
No.
You never been to Tahoe?
I've been to Tahoe after it has snowed, and they had came and cleared the road.
It's mostly always clear.
Yeah.
They'll make you put chains on when it's not.
Right.
Yeah, but I drove in the snow.
But the other thing I didn't want to happen is because I know they do this when it snows sometimes heavy in Tahoe.
They make you put chains on.
I just didn't want to get on the road and then they shut the freeway down because it's snowing too much. And then now we stuck on the freeway for
sleeping in the car.
Sleeping in the car.
Either way it go, y'all was calling me sleeping in the car.
Because I didn't drove to. I have been in the car driving to Tahoe, and then all of a sudden they be like, "Oh, the road is shut. You gotta take the back side bump ways, and you just in traffic for 3 hours. It's mad. Like I don't even want to go to Tahoe no more."
All right. Well, now that we got all the logistics out the way.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All the logistics
Y'all
out
might
the
need to
way.
talk about that off air a little bit more. You gonna need to see the reservations to make sure it's right, because you know he travels differently.
We good. Hey, you know it's been time me and Tiff like, you want to go to LA for a date? Like, yeah, we can just get sleep in the car for us. You good with that? She like, you for real? Yep. Yeah. All right, let's go. Let's get it. We flew out there, sabbed it out. We got stuck one time. That's what it was.
No, what it was we went to the Real Talk show.
Oh, by the time we flew out there and got everything.
We because this is when we had the flight benefits.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went out there hella early, and we was like, dang. We was only going to be out there for the day.
Oh, yeah. She was trying to get that's what it was. We got to L.A. in the morning, and she was trying to get a hotel like y'all would for 8 hours. And I'm like,
well, technically, we're not trying to get a hotel for 8 hours.
No, but that's what she was trying to do. We was just there for a day, and she was like, we getting in at like 2 o'clock. We just go get a hotel, and we just going to use it for a couple hours. And then I'm like, yo, you trying to.
I feel
hotels is like, 160, 170. Let's just sleep in the car for a couple of hours. It's going to be dark, but we park in a nice spot and make it happen. I had to talk her into that, and she gave in. And it was all right?
It wasn't a big talk into. I was like, all right, let's.
All right, but there you go. It was all right?
That makes sense.
Niggas, what's the difference? Like, it's going to be 8 hours.
That's a huge difference.
Husband and wife, one car.
And you flew 45 minutes into L.A.
4 dudes, grown men, driving 12 hours, parked in 30-degree weather, say goodnight.
Good night, nigga.
Yeah, no.
Love you niggas.
No, don't love you that much. No.
Hey, well, anyway, man.
I'm excited to say that when I travel, my accommodations have been way better.
Back to what I was saying, man. Initially, for y'all detoured us. Me and the doc going to nah, man.
I think it was in the natural flow of the conversation. But go ahead. Go
ahead. After going to Seattle, yada yada yada.
Yeah,
it's just gonna be a big guys
we
trip
trying
for
to
the
make
weekend.
this podcast better for y'all. So
we trying to figure out what are these podcast conventions about? What we gonna run into?
I'm having them go test it out before I join the party.
Before we invest in them and drop all this big bread.
And plus, I'm booked and busy. Just saying.
Booked and busy.
Booked and busy.
Before we drop all this bread, we wanted to just check it out. So we about to have a little journey on out that way.
We may need to stop in Portland too. I got some folks out there.
How far is Portland from? That's where y'all should stay.
Probably a good 4 hours.
Now, if y'all was leaving on time, that should have been a plan to stop in Portland, stay out there, get up on the road, and go.
And the conference start Friday, right?
I think so. She got 6 kids. I ain't rooming with nobody with 6 kids.
Ooh.
Yeah.
How you think this conference gonna be, y'all?
I don't know, because I'm not going.
I don't know. I think it's gonna be interesting, bro. I honestly feel like we gonna get a lot out of it.
You think out of speaking engagement?
I think it's gonna go either way. I think either it's gonna be beneficial or it's gonna be a big waste of time. Be like, this is dumb. Let's go.
I feel that too.
So it's gonna go either way.
Well, what do you think? Because when I'm looking at it, it looked like just a bunch of guest speakers, like just telling their experience. And all I can hear people saying is, "Keep going, keep recording, and it's gonna pick up. Find your lane."
I mean, that's what conferences are. Is people.
I don't think you've ever been to a conference.
Who guest speak and share their experience.
You ever been to a conference?
Man, we just gotta go time out.
Look, everybody is discovering something new.
Time out. You don't think it's gonna be no like distributors there or like just networking junk?
I think so, but the way you're making it seem like is just people gonna get up there and talk about their podcast, and I don't think it's.
He think he going to an expo.
Yeah, I don't think it's like that.
Is it a conference or is it an expo?
It's a PodCon, which is like it's like an expo.
So it's like a big that's what I'm saying, like an expo. So I know I ain't tripping.
Yeah,
because we could have paid to have our own booth and all that stuff. So it is.
It's
an
like
then
an
I
expo.
don't think nobody's gonna be up there talking like that.
But they got guests.
They
have guest speakers that are going to be speaking about the podcast industry and how to be successful in the podcast industry. And he acting like it's just going to be people up there telling their stories. Like there's a rhyme and reason to it.
All right.
Supposedly every one of the people that's guest speaking has a successful podcast.
Is it like a panel or something?
Some of them are panels. Some of them are just individuals.
You trying to hit them all up?
Hold on. Like, first of all, my mom used to say, "In all thy getting understanding." And Brandon don't get understandings all the time. So let me
Don't quote your mama on me, nigga.
No.
Like,
No mama quote.
yeah, nigga, ain't no need for no mama quote, nigga. Die living.
Just tell me what it's about.
Nigga,
No,
like,
nigga.
don't go there on me, nigga.
Because 10 minutes ago I thought going to Seattle meant staying in a hotel, and I learned that going to Seattle is sleeping in the car.
Stabbing it out like I told you.
So I'm learning stuff.
So we got different definitions of savages.
No.
Definitely.
All right, let's see who is talking at this thing.
I don't know, but y'all go to San Diego. I mean, you guys go to Seattle, and then we all get back. A few days later, I gotta go back to San Diego.
She been gone
Oh,
a lot.
it don't start till Saturday.
Oh, so
we
you guys
good.
have Friday.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we got Friday to chill.
cool. I knew I wasn't tripping. I was like, it's a reason why I wanted to get down there.
So might I ask why you guys are leaving at, like, why don't you?
Because it take like 12 hours to get there.
So if you leave at 6 tomorrow night, you're gonna get there at what time?
We get there. What time we get there? Do the math.
6.
6 in the morning.
Yeah, 6-ish.
6 in the morning. And then what are you guys gonna do?
Go to sleep, wake up, figure it out.
In the car?
Nah, if we get there at 6, because
You get there at 6, you're definitely not checking
we
in.
not getting there at 6. Like, who gets there on time? Who
Okay,
shows up here on time?
7.
Okay, we gonna check in at like, man, look, I'm gonna talk to the lady, be like, yo, we here. 2 dudes and a chick. What it do? She gonna swipe me in, like, okay, we
gonna
got
be
room available.
like,
Boom.
The room's not
Right
ready
on.
yet.
I tell
Right
you what's
on.
interesting is that, like, I'm looking at this list of speakers.
Nothing to do with the kind of content you guys listen to, probably.
Nothing to do. It's like 2 black people, maybe.
Yeah.
And first of all, I can't even believe you're going to Seattle for the first time without me.
Why?
That's
I
whack.
no, you don't want to go.
I don't want to go to this.
You know what I'm saying? I asked her first, yo, let's take a trip. No, I'm not getting in no car that long. What am I supposed to do? I'm trying to elevate our career. I'm trying to take us to the next level.
All right.
It'll be interesting.
You guys will have fun regardless.
I don't think there's any scenario where this is a loss.
Nah. Because y'all with
Why?
your people, y'all going to hang out, y'all going to have a good
It's
time.
not just
It's a
Going
trip.
to Seattle,
right.
you've
It's
been
not
wanting to
just
go
you and I.
forever.
It's 2 other people there. Seattle, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
We get to at least see Seattle a little bit. It'll probably be raining, but it ain't gonna be a total loss.
Always raining.
You guys need to get umbrellas.
Bruh, at the end of the day, we there Friday, Saturday, driving back Sunday. At the end of the day, we can go to PodCon and be like, this is whack, and go
To the Space Needle.
go to a bar, get drunk, smoke some weed.
Oh, so you guys smoke?
It's legal out there? Nah, I don't smoke weed.
I don't smoke. I don't smoke either, but
Who is he talking to?
but I'm saying hypothetically that speaking of hypothetically, remember that OJ?
Don't y'all be drinking and driving Uber where y'all at, because I think you guys
Oh,
are
for
a
sure.
thing. It's
For
not
sure.
worth it. And also, just
My
have a
cousin
good time.
used to go up there all the time to Seattle, and I remember he got robbed by I think he got robbed by a lady of the night. Because the
That ain't
nigga
cool.
was half blind. Nigga just called me one day and was like, bruh, she got all my stuff. It's like, nigga.
What you expect?
Wow.
Hey, y'all see that Soldier Boy?
You know you jumping in, so you know.
I haven't seen it. I meant to watch it because when I left from here and went home, somebody had actually saved it on my DVR. So I meant to watch it, but I didn't watch it.
You trying to watch Mirror's Boot Camp tonight?
I really am. I ain't even gonna lie. I depend on y'all for my
Ratchet TV?
Ratchet TV. And it was looking so interesting.
And then it cut out.
And then it cut right in the middle. Right in the middle.
You know the electrician just came
I wasn't
yesterday
even mad
too.
though, because I left straight from here and went and got some Wendy's.
Oh,
Dang.
dang, that's kind of deep.
It was a deep drive.
You
but
really wanted Wendy's,
I was hungry.
but that was so far away.
It was far away.
You know where Wendy's is at, right?
Oh,
No,
no.
down there by the 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Laguna 5.
Yeah,
By
like
where the gym was.
Yeah.
yes,
What the-
right there.
I know what you're
That's
talking
like you really want some Wendy's.
I did.
That's like somebody like been
did.
smoking or something and just like really want something in particular.
Well, first of all, nobody smokes on this podcast.
I'm just saying that's like one of them kind of hypes.
Well, I was I was hungry. And
What are you trying to do?
I'm just saying that's like one of them type of
He's
hypes.
a doctor.
I wanted one of those
Damn
jumbo
doctor.
junior bacon cheeseburger.
You get
meals.
a junior bacon cheeseburger.
It's a jumbo junior bacon
Jumbo
cheeseburger.
Junior.
What does that mean?
That means it's bigger than the little
Yeah,
Junior Bacon
you get
cheeseburger.
2 patties
That's
with the
it?
cheese and the bacon.
On
And
a
then
small bun.
no,
So you get 2 junior patties.
no,
Yeah, that's
they're
what I said,
regular
that's it.
patties.
So why is it a junior?
Because it's the same
don't
type
know,
of sandwich,
but
but it's
it's
bigger.
a jumbo.
Jumbo Junior.
Junior.
Oh.
And then you get 4 nuggets, a small fry, and a small drink. And I killed it.
You probably drunk your small drink in a sip or 2. And then
Hey,
those nuggets.
I got the limeade, and their limeade is like sugar. So
It's like
I
straight
couldn't-
sugar
yeah,
and
I
syrup
couldn't-
and
yeah, I couldn't
throw
drink
some
it like
Sprite
that.
in
Hey,
there.
dude, you know what's going on? Like, I ain't seen TV in a couple of days. It's getting kind of weird to me.
I haven't either. I'm gonna
I
explain
don't know what's
why
going
I
on in the
haven't.
world.
But
I can tell you why we ain't watched TV in a couple of days, because our electricity, our breaker been broke, and we ain't been able to tape no shows.
Nah, prior to that though, like I didn't even know my electricity was out
have you
because I ain't been keeping up with TV.
gotten some food, and then like before you got to the first stoplight, the food was gone?
You ate all that food before you got to the stoplight?
I did not say that. Please don't put words in my mouth. I'm just asking a
Depending
question.
on what it is, yes.
Like, have you ever just gotten food? Let me just put it this way.
Devoured it as
Have
soon
you
as
ever
got
gotten
it?
food
Put your hand in there and thinking it's something.
and
It's like what?
and expected the food to last you your ride home?
I never expect that.
Possibly expecting it to last you into the house.
Mine
Maybe.
do. I eat
When I
slow.
get my sushi, I wait till I get home because I want to be able to prep
Right,
and dip
right,
and everything. So
right,
that's easy.
yeah.
When I have burgers and stuff, it's a go. It's a wrap.
I'm a slow eater, dog.
Oh my God, he eats so slow. And he eats his fries first.
Really?
I don't know what I do.
It's a combo. You eat your fries first.
I have to.
It's a combo.
I have to balance it out. If I
Yeah.
eat too many fries, I gotta balance it out with some hamburger.
Well, I just
Nah.
like the taste of both.
I ate 2 baskets of fries today
we
before,
went to Red
before I
Robin
ate my
tonight.
burger. I just thought about it.
Yeah, he did. He eats his fries first. I told you eat your fries first. First of
I
all,
don't be paying attention.
All right, you asked a question.
Let me tell you. So he wants to. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, he wants to be able to go into a restaurant when we go out to eat. And he wants to order my food for me. Like, I don't know why. He just be like,
ain't that raw blood? For the lady, she would like when they come and say, what would you like to, how can I help you guys? For the lady, she would like
he's supposed to be able to do that, right?
With some fries and a
And I'm
soft drink.
like,
And for
okay,
myself,
cool.
I would
Because
like
I'm
a double
hella
cheeseburger with
basic
fries
when it
and
comes to my food. Like, I get the same thing at every restaurant
we gotta practice.
go. Well, I'm like, I don't know why. You should know. So we go today. I literally get the same burger every time I go to Red Robin. And then he was like, all right, let's do it. I was like, okay. And he starts, let me get the pig out. I was like, no, I don't want a pig out because that's not what I eat here. I never order a pig out.
I told her, I said, look, when I thought about the idea, because I thought it was pretty fly, because all the fly guys do it in the movies, I said, look, we got to practice. I said, you may think that I know some stuff, but I don't.
You should.
We had this discussion. You was like, you should know what I order. I
You
said,
should. Because I can tell you what you order at every restaurant.
That's dope, but I'm not like that. That's not me. My love language is different. So look, I said, look, I want to do some fly stuff. So you got to tell me. I might think I know. I might try to throw one out there and think I know, but it might be wrong. But next time we got to practice when we go to a restaurant.
Right.
So what am I going to get at Red Robin next time?
I don't remember.
Oh, Jesus.
We just left there.
But
how can this work?
This is what we got to do.
If you're not obtaining the information I'm giving you, how can this work?
When we pull it in the car, I'm going to write it down. And then by the time we get there, I'm going to memorize it.
That's the whole purpose. The whole purpose is for it to be you knowing what I want to eat.
No, I just want to look fly. Like, I just want to be like, for the lady. That's for the lady.
So then how about you just say, Tiff, what do you
Tiff.
want before the waitress gets here and I can tell you and then you can tell her. I'm talking about at the table while we're looking at the menu. Like, why it gotta be talked about in the card? I can just be like, here.
I wanted to be natural. I just want to be like, I want to know to know.
Do you see what I deal with?
No, I want to know, and then when she comes,
he wants to know so that he don't gotta know because he don't know.
He wants to know, but he knows and don't remember
Because he don't care.
Right.
I do care because I
No,
want to know.
you don't. You said you don't say right. You don't
I
care.
get offended when they bring me the check.
Instead of handing it to whoever you're with?
Yeah, I'd be like, why you automatically? I was sitting at the table with 4 women, and we was all paying separate bills. And they going to bring me the check. It's like, nigga, what make you think any of them is...
I guess the chivalry ain't real. Have you tried the waffle experience?
I'm a chivalrous person, and yes, I have.
You like it? Never mind. I don't even want to hear it.
No. I get their basic breakfast. So there's a breakfast.
What's a basic breakfast in there?
It's just basically like eggs, bacon, and waffle.
Are you serious?
It's not on the menu.
Why would you do that?
Because all that extra fancy stuff
You're
doing.
Bugging.
Whatever.
It's good.
Dude, so I took my cousin there for her birthday to the waffle experience, and she was like,
There's one here in Elk Grove, huh?
Right there. And she was like, I don't really want to go there because I don't want no syrup that early in the morning. And it's just,
syrup is bomb.
I'm like, first of all, I don't even know if they have syrup because what I get, I don't even use syrup. Like, you're tripping.
No.
It is so good. So, like.
You don't know this, but you and I are very similar in that we're not apt to try new foods.
Which is why when I tell you that this place is good, you should be like, you know what?
I know
if
they're
Tiff
good
think the place is
I've
good,
ate there before.
No, but you are just eating the basics.
Because I don't be wanting no herb crusted.
But that's what I'm trying to tell you. Listen to me. I get a
Wheat
burger.
waffle.
I get a burger.
Yeah, with waffle as the buns.
So good. Because it's not just like a regular waffle.
It is good, though.
It's like a basil infused waffle. And then they have their homemade ketchup, their aioli, whatever that's called.
Do it come with an egg on the burger?
No, I don't like eggs.
You don't like eggs?
I do not like eggs.
She ain't lying.
I know she ain't lying.
But I make them at every breakfast that we have here. I make the eggs every time. I don't like eggs.
You would never be a vegetarian, huh?
I mean, I can eat egg whites if I have to for the sake of like meal prepping and stuff, but regular eggs, I don't eat eggs with the yolk. It's gross.
Okay.
Yeah. So hear me when I say waffle experience.
But hear me when I say that they basic breakfast is bomb.
So imagine if you elevate to something on the menu.
Oh, I like bacon and eggs. I'm simple.
Keep it simple.
I think it's some Hispanic, some Latino folks that own the spot,
I don't know.
which I always find up. I only been to the one in the Thomas.
Hey, but is my ordering fly?
No.
No, it's dumb.
No.
It's dumb because you
Really,
don't remember it.
the whole point behind that is that
That you're a controlling man and want to control your woman.
no, that's
Just
not the
playing.
whole
Say
point
what?
behind
I'm
it.
just
It's-
playing. I'm just
That just went there.
JK.
The whole point behind
No, I get behind the whole point, but I'm just saying, like,
How do you know what he's about to
he
say?
gonna say the whole point. He gonna change it now.
No, I'm
That's
not.
But he gonna say the whole point is for you to understand your spouse and
That's
know what they're
definitely
like
not what I was gonna
and,
say.
and order it for them.
No.
Go ahead and switch it up. What you gonna say?
The whole point behind that in the movies is that you going out on a date and you want to impress your girl so much that you order something for her, but you don't know her taste. You just saying, I know what's good.
Try this.
Try this and you gonna love it. And then they try it and they be like, oh my God, this
He
nigga
could
just
never
ordered
do
my
that
food.
with me.
I
And it
can
was
absolutely
bomb.
do that for you.
And
You
I loved
could
it.
Never do that for
It's
me.
not like, oh, I already know what you gonna order. It's I'm ordering for you so that you could try something different as a
See?
way of me
And
impressing
that's where you lost me.
with my like food acumen.
Okay, but
That would not work for me. Like if I would have to be on a date and somebody be like, I'm
no
gonna
matter
order for
what, no matter what, if you was a waitress and you came to me
you. Oh
and
my
I said,
gosh.
for the lady, she want to have a woompty womp womp, and for myself, give me this. You be
Now-
like, that nigga fly.
You know what I hate when
That
happens?
nigga fly.
I do not like when waiters come and take your order and they start with the guys if there's chicks at the table. I don't like that.
I feel that. But the way you got to do it,
But no, so
you got to cut
she-
her off when she do it. You got to be like,
I plan on doing that.
like
I just gotta get it right.
Yeah, you got to cut her. You can't
But in
just
order to get
for
it right, you gotta care about what
No,
I like.
I just
I
wanna-
have been with you for 20 years eating the same
Look,
thing. You mean
hey.
tell me you can't tell me what I order when I go into a restaurant?
What size drawers I wear in American Eagle?
Here, did he just ask me what size drawers he wear?
He
Well,
did.
I don't I love everybody know I love underwear. What size drawers I wear?
I'm gonna have to say either a small or a medium. Probably a medium.
Look, I don't know nothing. That large.
Got a big booty.
I was in
Psych, it's a medium. You didn't know.
I said
Nah, you
medium.
guessing.
I was in American
my
Eagle and they
gosh.
had extra small. I'm trying to figure out what man is walking around here with some extra small.
Maybe a
drawers on.
teenager kid or something.
Listen,
Yeah.
if you once you get into puberty, if you can still fit an extra small,
I think I was an
something
extra
is
small
wrong.
like 3 years ago. You remember me? You caught me in the going to gym phase, dog.
Bruh,
Dog, I was 135, blood.
There's
I'm
no-
like 180 now.
there's no way you was an extra small in
Tiff.
drawers.
Well, not 135.
I don't know if he was extra small.
I'm a medium now. So what makes you think I'm?
That's fine.
No,
If
I'm
you
saying
were-
no. I didn't never got no extra small draws, but I'm just saying
Yeah,
like
he was small.
I'm saying I was way smaller. Like I wasn't buying no like
I'm just
getting
like,
some hangs.
if you could fit an extra small, then that means your pipe is extra small.
Does it?
nah.
So what you saying? Somebody
So
can
you're
have,
basing your pipe size off your underwear size?
No, I'm basing.
Is that what's happening?
No, I'm saying if
You
no,
trying
it
to
don't
have
matter
a small pipe on the
Why
low?
are you thinking about that?
You
because
thinking
it's
how a
extra
woman would
small.
think?
I'm just trying
No,
to figure
he's
out.
thinking about how.
I'm just trying to figure out. It don't matter how small you is. How can you fit your pipe
I'm
in
saying
some extra small drawers?
if my waist is 28, I got regular pipe. Like you know what I'm saying? I got a
Then
cool
you-
pipe.
But it should be like my waist is extra small, but because I got regular pipe, I gotta wear a size small because my pipe ain't
Nigga,
fitting
your
the extra small.
your jaw's gonna be baggy. It's to your waist. You know what I'm saying? If you
Baggy
hold,
draws.
it's gonna hold whatever it hold, but your
No,
waist is
I
like.
just feel like if you wear extra small, then your nuts is cutting off circulation. Like, ain't
How
no
big
way.
are you guys' nuts?
Hey, to each
They
his
not
own.
extra small.
Which is why you wouldn't buy extra small.
To each your own, and ooh, balls and I don't even know. I know I was like a
I
28.
put on
like
a small T-shirt today and it got stuck.
Oh,
Not even lying, not one bit.
wow.
why?
Why you put on a small
Why
t-shirt?
did you put on a small
Because
t-shirt?
I just wanted to see if I can make it fit.
Hey,
Wait a minute. What size t-shirt do you wear?
I wear a 4X.
Wait a minute.
I got
So
it.
you said trick all the other 5 sizes before this one. I'm going to try it.
I just want to try it on, and I got it on to like here, and it was like a halter top. It was like holding in my titties and shit. And then, but when I tried to take it off, I got stuck in this position. And my kids was like, "Hey, stop playing." I was like, "Bro, I can't. I couldn't do nothing."
You should have Hulk Hogan
trying
it.
on a small t-shirt.
Because I wanted to prove to everybody that I can make my body fit in the
So
whatever
he thought
size.
he was a cup. You know how they be having the large and the small cup and pouring the large and it's still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same
You
size.
are not a cup.
Hey,
Well,
look.
we know that now.
Hey, it's crazy you said that because she gassing me up. You should, because they asked for the modeling agency that my daughter go to. They asking for males that's 5'10" and that could wear 32. And I was like, oh, I think I can. I said I could squeeze into a 32. You know, I've been running. And Tiff like, you think so? She had me trying on clothes and. Yeah, 32 is kind of tight,
Yeah.
but I squeezed into one.
Well, feel positive because last time I wore 32 was 6th grade.
Probably with a small t-shirt.
Yeah, you probably had a small.
What kind of friend are you?
I just can't believe that you tried on a small t-shirt.
There's video evidence out there. So
Oh, God, that is so funny.
I'm gonna see if I can get it.
But it's crazy we both trying on small clothes today. That was my
That is.
point.
That is.
'Cause normally I get a 34, 32.
I don't know what to say.
Oh, God, that's hilarious.
We're both trying on small clothes.
Yeah, what are the odds of that?
What are the odds of that? Next, you guys are going to try on extra small draw.
We're not trying on extra small clothes. First of all, honestly though speaking, if I tried on extra small draws, one, I'm not getting them over
Your knee.
my leg. But
Your
two,
ankle.
if I got them all the way up, somebody would have to come in the
And
dressing
cut
room
'em
and
out?
cut them off.
Yeah.
Because they not coming back there.
Yeah.
Hey, what about them drawers?
And
I
that
got
means
you.
you got to lift up some
He
stuff.
said they were too small.
Huh?
What size of them drawers I got you?
I think they was XL. They was too small.
Okay.
Them drawers was cutting off.
Everything.
Man.
Yeah.
I remember my daughter was like, "What are you doing?"
Playing yourself.
Just like, "Why are you wearing those?" Like, I was like, "Brandon got them for me. I'm just trying to." She was like, "Why are you wearing?" She just looked at me like, "Why are you wearing? Why is he buying you drawers, and why are you feeling obligated to wear them?"
Love.
Love language.
You should not talk about love if you wear drawers.
That's love, dog.
Love
That
language.
is not love.
He loved you so much that he wants you to experience the
What
joy
I
he
go through, man. That's the type of
experienced
friend
with
I
the
am. I'm
draws
like,
that
yo,
he be
like,
wearing.
these drawers fit so good. I want you
But
to
so
experience
far,
this.
his favoriteest ones are Tommy John.
Oh yeah.
And I still haven't got a pair of Tommy
Them
Johns.
is like
but I am
butter.
gonna get a pair.
Them
I
is his
am.
ones he wear when he's like dressing up.
Yeah, I'm fly.
You put on the Tommy Johns.
Put on the
No, if you
I ain't gonna
looking-
lie, the Tommy Johns be looking good on Kevin Hart.
$35 drawers.
Yeah.
They
The
be
wedding
looking-
in
Right.
August, you wearing Tommy Johns.
Yeah, I might have to get a new pair because I'm kind of wearing out my one pair. It's too much. I wore them one pairs like to like 4 different occasions. Like, oh, I gotta put on
But the
drawers.
fact that you can tell us when you've worn your Tommy Johns,
Yeah, they just sit. They just sit and wait.
you might need to get. It might be time to. I only bought you. The whole reason why I only bought you one because I didn't know if you was gonna like them.
Well, you know I do.
Yeah,
Wearing them out.
soon buy you more. Never know, they might just pop up at your doorstep.
I receive that in the name of Jesus.
So let the people know what size you wear.
Oh, okay, all right. That's how we do it. We get some mediums. Anything, I'll take it. You know what I mean? DM us.
I'm just playing. That's heck of funny.
Hey, you know what I want our callers, I said callers, like people calling in, listeners to do, man. Hey, if you really rock with us, because we know what our views is like. all I want y'all to do is tell 2 or 3 people about us that you think that will enjoy the podcast just as much as you do. I've been meaning to say that for a long time.
Great.
And why are you young? That's the second time. It's time to go.
Have I been yawning a lot?
Yes,
I'm
it's time to go.
tired.
It's
Listen,
time to
your
go.
girl is booked and busy, okay? I'm tired.
Hey, that's her favorite word. I'm in San Diego. I'm planning
booked-
this big wedding. I'm booked and
busy.
busy.
And I have another wedding that I'm doing locally.
Okay. All right.
You know what I'm saying?
You are booked and busy.
I'm doing Chum's party.
All right. Yeah, I'll
You know
give
what
it
I'm
to
saying? And I'm also planning a family vacation.
you. Yeah, you are.
You know what I mean? While having 11 people live in my house.
Oh, my gosh. My sister just moved in
So when I say your girl is booked and busy, I'm booked
with her
and busy.
husband and 2 kids.
How's that going?
It's cool, man. Like like I said, man. I'm at the point where the only people that I would let move in my house is my siblings and my inner circle.
So your niece and nephew here too, right?
No, my nephew.
And my niece, yes.
I raised my nephew though. That's like my son.
Yeah, I know. I'm just.
Yeah.
I just wanted the people to really understand how many.
People we have living here.
so
It's a solid 11.
I just never want anybody to walk in and know that many people live here.
It's a solid 11.
yeah, my sister hit me up, said she's trying to buy a house. She needs to crash in my joint for like 4 to 6 months. I said, I'm gonna say no. And then Tiff always say, that's why God bless you with this big house to be able to occupy. So, it is what it is, man. I'm happy and blessed to be in a position to help out people when in need.
Yeah. And I went to church, and the pastor was saying that
What church you go to?
serving others is the way
Dude.
to your blessing.
Oh, my gosh, Tiff.
I'll tell you that in another episode.
Nah, I worked out with Dame, and he just told me that. He was like, blood, the way you help people out when in need, like family, that's really for real and serious about it. He was like, that's a ministry right there.
Yeah.
It's like it's different ways of serving besides like preaching to somebody.
Yep.
I was like, I never knew.
Yeah.
He was like,
You're doing God's work.
that's what he said. So I thought that was kind of dope. I worked him out, and then we sat down and had tea for 3.5 hours.
Like
blood.
some dads.
What did you-
With his Crocs on. You ever Crocs on?
Nah, I had my workout gear. Look, Dane was like, I ran into him at Target. He was like, man, I want to work out with you. I was like, what's up with today? So we set it up. We worked from 6 to
How'd
7.
you get in there? Did you get a...
He got a pass where anybody that he work out with could just walk in with him.
Oh, that's good.
So we worked from 6 to 7. No, 5:30 to 7. And then we when they had some hot tea. And sat and talked for like from 7 to 10:30. But all right, man, that's it, man. I'm about to go. It's over. You keep yawning.
I did not yawn again.
Hey, it's your boy Priest D.
Don't be acting like you're not about to give me none either before you go to your Seattle trip to go.
Oh,
sleep in
wow,
the
that
car.
was-
It's your boy Priest
That
D
was
from Two Dudes
explicit.
and the Chick.
was not prepared for that.
Yo, and we out.
Wait, can
Nah, you know her dad listen. Hey, we out. Nah, we ain't.
we got to end on that note?
Yeah, we out.
She said you going to blow that back out? You just
Hey,
gonna make me turn it off?